Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. It's Deb from Bowl Me Over. Thought I'd do a quick and easy recipe for you today, and this is a wonderful side dish that goes with, gosh, just about every meal out there. And you know me, I love my sides, I love my veggies, and so going over to Mom and Dad's for dinner tonight, always like to bring something, and I'm like, whoa, what do I have where I don't have to run to the store? And this is a really simple one. It's also really, really popular for good reason. It's just easy. It's, everyday ingredients, and it's only a few ingredients. Let me walk you through it real quick. What we're gonna make today is Lipton onion soup, roasted potatoes. Super flavorful, so good. What we're gonna need are potatoes, and for this I use russet potatoes. I do not peel them, I just chop them up. We're gonna use some olive oil, but if you wanted a little more flavor, a little more, fat equals flavor, so we could add some butter, melted butter as well. We're gonna use pepper and salt, Lipton onion soup mix, of course. A couple of things we're gonna need for the recipe, and that is a nice mixing bowl. I'm gonna use a whisk, a spoon, a knife, a sheet pan, and then make sure you can cover it with foil or you can cover it with parchment paper. Either works. You just, for me, it's all, I suppose you don't even have to do that, but if you don't, it's going to be harder to clean it up. And you know me, I'm all about the easy cleanup. So let's go ahead and get started. Give me just a minute. I'm going to clean up my workspace a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's get started. And that's going to start with the marinade for the potatoes. Starts with Lipton onion soup mix. We're just going to pour it into our big mixing bowl. We're going to use a couple tablespoons of olive oil right into the mix. And salt and pepper. Probably should have done salt and pepper first so it doesn't drip into my other things here. But, okay, pepper. And potatoes are bland, so you have to zhuzh them up a little bit. Add some, salt is the one thing that potatoes love. It's the one thing that they need. And the Lipton onion soup mix does have a lot of flavor in it, but I want to just give it a little extra burst, and hence that additional salt and pepper. Okay, and then if I had just chopped up my potatoes and poured this on top of it, it wouldn't get incorporated as well into the mix. So I'm just gonna use my whisk, and I have like one little thing of salt there, and just whisk all this up just a tiny bit to incorporate everything with that onion soup mix. And that way the potatoes are flavorful all the way through. And that was easy, right? Okay, so now I'm just gonna get my potatoes out. The recipe itself calls for Yukon Gold, but you can use whatever you have. I've even used sweet potatoes. They don't crisp up quite as well, but they do crisp up nicely. So the potatoes, we just wanna cut them. I've washed them and I've dried them well. You wanna make sure they're well dried, because we don't want them to steam in the oven. We want them to crisp and roast in the oven. And speaking of the oven, I do have it on 400 degrees. I've preheated it, and I've preheated it well. So it's gonna be really piping hot when we put the potatoes in. Okay, as we go through this, if we see any bad spots in the potatoes, I'm just gonna cut them out. But I want about a 1-inch dice, and that looks about perfect. If you cut them larger, it will take longer to roast. If you cut them smaller, it might take a little bit less. The side dish takes about 25 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes, total. So again, just depends on how large you cut the potatoes. It doesn't depend on what type of potato you use, but the size of the potatoes. So, and you just want to try to keep them uniform. And let me just finish going through this. So over here on the counter, a couple of things on the counter. This is a great tip. Since I'm doing this is a great tip. And this is my mom's favorite tip, but you know, there's so many good things that are at the market right now, whether it's farmer's market, at a grocery store, whatever it is you're doing. And mom's best tip is when you bring a melon home to, if it doesn't smell when you're at the store, and this one really doesn't quite yet, set it on the counter. Set it on the counter for as long as it takes to smell that cantaloupe. And once it starts, you can start smelling that yummy cantaloupe smell. That's the time to cut it open. We had one the other night at their house that was just, I think, glorious is the best description I could give you. Oh goodness, that was good. I love a good melon this time of year. And I got my watermelon sitting out too, and the same thing. That one doesn't smell quite as much, but I still will leave it on the counter for a couple of days before I dice it. So anyway, just dicing them up, trying to keep them all about the same size. And I shouldn't say this quite yet because I'm not done, but these were the end of the bag of the potatoes that had been in there a while. So I'm pleased we haven't found any that are not looking too shiny. Oh, and even this one, the littlest one is. Wonderful. Great. Love that. And this will make a nice side dish. And how easy is that? And affordable too. Okay, I spoke too soon. Little brown spot here. Just going to cut them off and set them to the side. And really, that isn't too bad. I'm going to cut the tip off of all of it. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay. You know, I should have given some tips as we were doing it, but did you notice how I cut off one side and then when they were done, I flipped them over on that flat side to dice them the rest of the way? That's a really good tip because it is easy to have your knife rock because your vegetables are, your fruit or vegetable, whatever it is, are. So don't be afraid to just give it, keep it flat on the counter. I think that was my point. Lost my train of thought there, but keep it flat on the counter. It'll be much safer when you're slicing and dicing. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is just incorporate our marinade mix with the potatoes. So I'm just going to give it a whole bunch of really solid stirs here because I want those potatoes to have loads and loads of flavor. If you, don't forget now, if you missed any of the ingredients, it's no big deal. I'm going to have them all below in the description below. So just take a minute and click more. And when you do that, you'll see the rest of the ingredients, the whole shebang for the recipe. And that looks terrific. See? Yeah, that's exactly what we want. Everything's coated, everything's seasoned and flavored. And now we're just going to pour all this onto our lined sheet pan and mix it or spread it out in like one even layer so it roasts evenly. Isn't that perfect? How simple is that? Now we're going to put it in the oven. It's going to roast for 25 to 30 minutes. I'm going to pull it out about halfway through, about the 15-minute mark. I'm going to give it a mix, and then we're going to put it back in the oven and go from there. But look at that. Isn't that yummy? I'll be back soon. Hey guys, I'm back. The alarm just went off. It's been 15 minutes. So let's open the oven, bring up the sheet pan, kind of stir them around a little bit and see how they look. look, I even got a facial in the meantime. My glasses are all steamed up. Okay, so if we take a quick peek, first of all, the house smells amazing, but these are starting to roast nicely. So I'm just gonna give them a little flip. That way they get roasted everywhere. Yum, yum, yum. And spread them out again in one even layer. And the reason we want one even layer, again, you know, they're not damp anymore from the water, but we want them to be on one even layer so they roast evenly, like all sides, get a little air between everything. I could have even used a larger sheet pan, might even have been better. So we're gonna put these back in the oven. They're not quite tender yet, so I'm thinking another 15 minutes. We'll see in a bit. The timer just went off, so yay, the potatoes are done. It smells fantastic in here. Let me grab them out of the oven. I'll be right back. Now this is a great time for smell-o-vision. If only, right? Oh goodness. These smell fantastic. They're crispy on the edges. Look at that. Oh, yum, yum, yum. Little roasty and toasty. These are fantastic. My mom really likes side dishes. So I always try to do something different that I haven't done before. And with 1,000 recipes on the blog, I have options. And she just really enjoys it. I had flopped one over the side, so I thought, well, that'd be a good one for taste testing. It's hot though, so I want to give it a couple minutes. So I'm going to chat for a minute and just remind you, all of the information is below. You can check out the blog. There's going to be some additional tips, some additional, like the frequently asked questions, like all those kind of things. That's some great information on the blog. You can find it at Bowl Me Over, or just click the link below. Comments mean the world to me. If you could comment on this, I would really appreciate it. Give it a thumbs up. All the things, share it with a friend if you can think somebody to share it with, might enjoy this recipe too. And definitely give it a try. I mean, how easy is that? It's perfect with burgers. It's, great side dish with chicken on the grill or baked chicken, all those good things. Let's give it a try. Those are good. The neat thing about roasting, the outside, especially when you keep it in a larger dice like this, a good 1-inch dice, the outside is crispy. The inside of the potato is like pillowy soft. The flavoring is just right. It's a winner. It's like a total winner. I hope you give it a try, okay? Comment below and let me know what you think after you've given it a try as well. Join me again. We'll see you next time. It's Deb from Bowl Me Over. You can check out the blog at bowl-me-over.com. Find me on Facebook, Pinterest, all the places. We'll see you soon. Have a wonderful day.